In this episode, we'll take you to a place you may not know about in the museum, a radio station that broadcasts the show unlike most others. We'll see what makes the Saturday Light Brigade so different and endearing. Every Saturday morning here at the Children's Museum, there is a bit of radio whimsy being made. As Chris Moore tells us, it may have all started thanks to the influence of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Broadcasting live. Is there any other way? From historic Allegheny Square in the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh, along with Ricky Berger and Gio Garcia. This is Larry Berger, and this is the show that gets your weekend off to a good start, the Saturday Light Brigade.
Since 1978, Larry Berger and his wife Ricky have produced and hosted a live radio show every Saturday morning called the Saturday Light Brigade.
Soon you'll be lighter than air, floating here and there. Follow me if you dare to.
Larry says that he has always loved radio and that while listening in his youth, it seemed like programmers treated Saturday mornings as a throwaway.
There's letter carriers and bakers and delivery people and all sorts of folks up Saturday. So the idea, at least then, was one premise was let's create a program that actually assumes there's an audience that's awake and alert and wants to interact and wants company on a Saturday morning. Okay, Hank, easy now. Let it go. Slobber all over the place as usual. Okay, here's what the Sound Hound has brought today. Can you identify this?
Larry and Ricky also thought they would take a novel approach to what they saw most radio programs were doing at the time.
Why do radio programs have to be all talk or all music? Why can't we mix the two together? And things evolved, and that's pretty much how we came about.
The result is an interactive, highly entertaining mix of eclectic music, talk, and mind-bending brain puzzlers.
If you can identify that sound, 412-200-5975. Guess as often as you'd like. If you're correct and you care to, we'll invite you to join us on the radio. You know, we wanted a quirky name. Saturday helps a lot because it tells people when we're on. Light was something we wanted to be sure people knew we were lighthearted, shining light on issues, and just kind of a light kind of feel. And then Brigade, it was pretty deliberate to establish a sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than yourself.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I call you the Mr. Rogers of radio. Do you accept that appellation?
With great honor. And I mean, I love Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
It's interesting. I've read a lot of his books in the last 10 years, and a lot of the principles that he lived by and used in his everyday work are things that I kind of arrived at independently, and I'm sure some of it was due to an impact of watching him as a kid.
The Saturday Light Brigade, or SLB Radio as it's also known, has a rather large network. They are on 6 FM stations, 3 internet services, 2 television stations, and another public radio station in Phoenix, Arizona.
Part of our mission is to bring people together, and in the case of stations further away, to export a little bit of Pittsburgh. You know, you hear a lot of Boston in Car Talk, you hear a lot of Minnesota in A Prairie Home Companion. Why not hear a little bit of Pittsburgh? That's the Philadelphia Jug Band with Ukulele Lady. And here's Katie. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, it's good to hear your voice. You are in Highland Park. And did you want to pet the Sound Hound?
Good boy.
Yes, the Sound Hound. I'm sorry about the pause on jumping up there. It's hard. You caught it so fast, and he's just a happy dog.
Yep.
What did you come up with for the sound?
That's the sound I like to hear first thing in the morning. I've got mine set on an alarm.
An alarm? Yeah.
It's hooked to my alarm. It's on a timer. It's the coffee maker.
It's a coffee maker. Absolutely. Conventional wisdom says you can't play Louis Jordan and Bill Monroe, within the same 15 minutes. I respect people enough that I think they can hear, two pieces of music that different. And especially with kids. Kids will spot a phony immediately. We are not going to play kids' music that has been developed and created as kids' music. Kids can listen to John Coltrane and fiddle hoedowns and other kinds of music that's appropriate, and not to take anything away from the Wiggles and the other groups that have been specifically designed for kids, but that's not what we do here. And maybe it's because I was exposed to that kind of music growing up, but it's one thing that enables kids and parents to listen together, because I don't think many parents want to hear the Wiggles over and over and over again.
Live music is also a staple of SLB Radio.
But first, our pleasure to bring you Andre Costello.
A bus ride ain't too cheap now.
Define us as you wish. If you want to think of SLB as a show where you hear really interesting music, great. If you want to think of us as a program where you get to solve puzzles and games, awesome. If we're a show for kids and families, that's fine too. It is time for us to play Two Truths and a Tall Tale. So it's really a blend. I want there to be a very wide-ranging audience, because kids have more to say and express than we typically realize. And if you create a trusted, and this is Mr. Rogers, you create a trusted space with caring adults where people will be authentic, open up, and share of themselves, you can really provide a great service.
The Saturday Light Brigade airs weekly for 6 hours on several local radio stations and internet sites, including WQED's IQ Kids Internet Radio starting at 6 a.m. Children's Museum visitors are welcome to observe and take part in the live broadcasts.